Alright guys, I'm very happy right now since I just finished all the experiments that I want to do inside of this video. So far what I did is I got 3 images, the first one, the second one, and the third one. As you could see, they are definitely different at in some extent, especially for the third image. It's totally different than the previous 2 images. And what I want to do is to using the machine learning to detect if 2 images are similar and how similar they are, so that I could use this functionality to do some more stuff later in the future, but I won't tell you for now. But anyway, let's get into it. For now, as you could say, we have used the mobile nets, this library, to extract the feature from the 3 images. And for each feature, it is a vector that have 1280 values inside of that. This is a vector. And since we got 3 of that vector, we could do some comparison by using the cosine similarity function. And in the end, as you could say, for the first image, it's 100% the same, because as you know, feature of image 1 compared to the feature of image 1, since they are the same, so the similarity should be 1. That's correct. And for the second comparison, the image 1 compared to the image 2, this little boy compared to this little girl, they are pretty much the same except the hair. So for this time, we got a number that less than 1 while still close to 1 if we think it as a positive number. This means that they have some similarity in there, but they're not equal. Now let's check about the third one. The third image is totally different than the previous one, especially for the first one. So for this time, we should get a slightly lower similarity number. That's why we get the 0.8. But to be honest, since the 3 images we have, they all have a white background and they all have the same black corner as a pin. So they may look like they have some similarity out there. So that's why for all those numbers, they are indeed close to 1. The good thing about this method is that it could have a really good accuracy, since we have used the machine learning technique, we have used the neural network. But the bad point is that if we do it with some pre-trained model, it will require us to have some fixed input size. For example, for this one, that would be 224 times 224. So we have no choice but to do a resize for all of our imaging to let it equal to that input size. If somehow someone could train a model that could let us fit the 1920 times 1080. If someone could train a model that could let us fit this resolution of image in, that would be great, so that we could do some developments to handle the recording stream for desktop. Then we could do some very cool stuff. For example, to detect if someone is operating the desktop. But speak of that, I just thought about there has a method that just come to my mind. I think there has a better method for doing that, to detect whether we should pause a radio recording if there has no one in front of the computer. That is to detect the mouse. If the mouse move, that means there has someone that was trying to operate the computer. But if the mouse keep still, keep in that position for, let's say, 1 minute, then that means there has no one out there. It's definitely more efficient than using the machine learning to solve this kind of problem. So my bad, I just recorded another video that may have not that useful meaning for using. But wait, this still has some usage out there. For example, you could use this method to group your images, to split it into a bunch of different groups so that you could choose how can you deal with those images. For example, if you have, let's say, 10,000 images, and you could use this method to separate out different persons. For example, some images that have the person A, some images that contains the person B, or some images that contains the person C. This is just one usage of that. Of course, by using this technique, you could also separate out images that have different features. For example, some images that in-house, or some images that out of the house. I mean, it was shot at the outside of your door, or some images at the beach, or some images at the, let's say, the hill. I don't know. Okay, that's it. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.